So what is up, guys? I think before we get a Legion announcement, I thought I'd show you a little bit of my Dimensional Police TCG deck that I used to actually play with way back in the day. It's pretty old. It's never got updated in a long time. So I kind of left it to show you guys how I used to actually play competitive TCG. Obviously, I don't have any of those nice cameras to show you the nice deck layout, but I'm willing to show you through the cards one at a time. So in this deck, I ran like 8 crits. I even ran the dies, and those were always nice. Runners, 4 Bumblebee units. These were my units. It was fun playing Dimensional Police way back in the day. And this is actually when I was in G era. And obviously my heal checks, because, I'm bound to draw these eventually. And I'm just not a fan of that at all. My forerunner actually was Die Shoot. Definitely a fan favorite. It was a Gigabright unit. You put this into your soul, choose one of your Vanguards, that's a Dimensional Robo. It gains 4,000 power, and when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it, so you have a chance to retire with this forerunner. Put this in the soul, and that unit gains 4,000. So that was a little bit more of my G0 lineup. My G1 lineup, I had 3 Laurels, so obviously I got into the game when Laurel wasn't, totally limited, apparently. I don't know why. But I ran 3 Laurels. I ran 2 of our PG we see in Zero now. Them Dimensional Robo Die Shields. And I actually ran the other PG that actually countercharged. His name was Cosmo Hero Vanguard. This was actually one of my units. It let you countercharge, I believe. Yeah, and then if this card is a Cosmic Grand Heart in your drop zone, if one of these was in your drop zone, you were able to turn a card face up. So we might get these types of PGs that actually countercharge our, CB if we're, not using it as much, so on and so forth. Another G1 I have here is Dimensional Robo Operator Yuka. She was a little bit of a waifu material. And, her effect was, it was GB1 when placed, choose one of your Dimensional Robos, and it gained 4,000 power. So, obviously, I stuck to that 4,000 power in my TCG days. So, another G2 I used in my deck was Cosmic Hero Grand Devoir. If you haven't seen it or don't know of it, its effect was, it was a 1-turn CB1. If your Vanguard's attack is 15,000 or greater, choose one of your rear guards, and that unit gets plus 4,000 power until the end of the turn. If your Vanguard attack is 30,000 or greater until the end of the turn, this unit when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, countercharge 2. So that was nice for to have this type of unit. So this is how you kind of save CB with these 2 Cosmic Heroes. So that was really nice. I was a fan of those. My next card, my next G2 lineup was Dimensional Robo Dijet. If you haven't seen Dijet, there's that boy. Ran that as well. It was a Giga Break 1 effect. Choose a grade 3 Dimensional Robo and its card name from your drop zone. Put it at the top of your deck. Shove your deck and choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets 4,000 power. Can't wait for this to come to 0 when we get Giga Break, right? Yeah. And then this unit it gets this following Counterblast 1. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost if you do. So CB1 to draw 1 after returning a G3 to your deck. Definitely one of my favorites. I even ran old school Die Dragon because, 12K is 12K. I kept it real in my Dimensional Police deck. And lo and behold, this is what I can't wait for. And it's Die Bazooka. This is actually one of my favorite units that's going to be coming. And his effect actually will benefit Zero's format. It says when this unit attacks, if there's a Vanguard with Kaiser in its name, this gets an extra 2,000. So it became an 11K, so we all know how that works in Zero. And then Trigger Zone. If your Vanguard with Kaiser in its card name, this card gets a grade +1. And when your dry check reveals this card, countercharge 1, Soul Blast 1. So this is another way you would trigger Die Kaiser's effect, believe it or not. Just this alone was able to trigger it, and that gave you more options. So not only would you have 13 G3s that you're using in Zero, but these would count as 4 more, so you have 17 tries to hit the break ride. So that was nice. Definitely I am waiting on Die Bazooka to actually, come to the game. I ran 2 diehards actually. Believe it or not, it was worth it. He helped in some situations because being able to choose a dimensional robo in his card name, put it into your soul, search your deck for grade 3, write as 10, and give it 4,000 power was always helpful. So this kind of helped set up my Die Kaiser from the deck or any type of plays I'm looking for. Even my Legion, it's actually really good for Legion. I only ran 1 Die Kaiser because that's all I was going to need because you can search it out with Goyusha, but I don't play Goyusha, so my whole gimmick was to use Diehard to get this, and then somehow Legion. Yeah, I know. 2 ultimates, I mean, it's nice to have. You only needed 2, because either way, it's getting Legioned. And lo and behold, I had 4 ultimate dimensional robos, true ultimate Die Kaiser. And the effect for 0 is going to be obviously this. During your turn, if this unit is Legioned and the number of cards with your dimensional robos in its card name and your soul is 3 or more, this becomes a crit. But it also had another effect. When this unit drive check reveals a grade 3 card and your Legion mate's crit is 2 or more, so this is where the Go cannons come in play, and your Legion mate needs to be at a critical. You may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's Guardians and retire it and pretty much nullify any PGs. So this helps you nullify PG. So this would actually kill the 2 PG. Your opponent would have to have 3 PGs to stop a possible break ride with this Legion. And, you know, I was always a fan of that, too, because, honestly, I just like smacking people in the face. And, obviously, I ran Die Lion, because that's the whole point of Diehard. If you run Die Lion, you can pull off Diehard's effect to get into Die Kaiser and do the effect very quickly. That's why I was a fan of these, you know, units. You can LB4 at 3 damage, because if you break ride, you're already steps ahead and you're ready to smack all those PGs. And if you have your crit triggers, then you hit a 3 crit to the face with no PGs guarding. I loved playing Die Kaiser way back in the day. Huge fan. So my G4 lineup, I mean, let's be real here. I kept a really good G4 lineup when it came to playing cards. This is obviously one of my favorites when I used Laurel, the legendary dimensional robo Die Kaiser Lion. It was a Giga Break 2, Counterblast 1, choose a face down card name this, and from your G zone, turn face up, and if you have a heart card with Kaiser in its name, so a Kaiser unit, this card gains the following ability. When your drive check reveals a grade 3, choose up to one of your opponent's Guardians, retire it, and that effect and all the hit effects were nullified. So again, more nullifying when it came to striding with G4 Kaiser. Legendary Die Kaiser Leon, where Die Kaiser reached like Ultra Instinct in that form. I actually ran 1 Super Cosmic Hero Gallop because I was able to do it with most of my cards in the deck to get that power creep moment. Its effect was you can counterblast 1, choose a face-down card for your G-Zone, turn it face up, and when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if this unit is at 35,000 or greater, you may pay the cost. If you do, this gets a drive check plus, so you drew 4 freaking cards, and if this unit is at 40,000 power, all of your rear guards in the front row get 4,000 for each face-up card name X Gallop in your G zone. So if there was more of this kind turned face up, all your units would power creep to an extent. And not only that, you were able to get a quad check with this stride unit, and this is actually one of my favorite things to pull off. Just quads, drawing 4 cards is amazing. This is why I really like this card, and it was very nice to set up too. Honestly, huge fan. And then I ran Super Cosmic Hero X Tiger, and his effect was choose a face-down card for your G-Zone, turn it face up. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, if this unit gains 4,000 power for each face-up card in your G-Zone until the end of battle, and if this unit is 45,000, this gains a crit. So this is more like you're running out of strides and you turn up a lot of G units so you can hit that 44,000. So it starts at 2,600, and then you get this effect off at the start of your main phase. You pay the cost because you don't have to do it when you do it when this attacks. Okay, never mind. You turn and face up G zone card, and then you pay the cost. If you do, this gains 4,000 power for each face up G unit, and then if it hit 4,500, it gained a crit. So it was a nice light critter that with a power creeping moment. So 4,500, you either PG it or you got nothing for it. I ran Super Cosmic Hero X Phoenix. And what it did was counterblast 1 at the end of the battle. This unit attacked the Vanguard. If this unit was 35,000 or greater, and if the attack did not hit during that battle, you may pay the cost if you do draw a card. So if they block this, you technically get to draw a card. So it made your opponent actually think. So that was a good one. I ran some interesting pretty cats. I mean, listen, I mean, as much as I want these to be like waifu material, it wasn't going to happen. It was a one-turn effect, Counterblast 1. When this unit's attack is 34,000 or greater, you may pay the cost, and if you do, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards, and it gets minus 5,000 power. So apparently Zeal might get a stride thing of this, but it is what it is. But I ran it. I only owned like 2 G Guardians. I was supposed to get more to fix up the deck because that wasn't completed. But yeah, I had 2 G Guardians. So that was nice. And as you all know, G Guardians, you pitch a heal and you G Guardian. Next we have 99th Generation Dimensional Robo Commander Great Die Earth. If you've never seen it, now you have. Its effect was you CB2, choose a face-down version of this, turn it face-up, and if you have a card with Dimensional Robo in its card name, which is easy, search your deck for up to 1 Grade 3 and Grade 2 card with Dimensional Robo in its card name, call them separate rearguard shuffles, then if the number of face-up cards in your G-Zone with Dimensional card name is 2 or more, obviously every time you flip your G-Zones, your effects start to go off, so this would become a crit while prepping extra units from your deck, so you take out the G3 and a G2, you technically gain an intercept and an attacker, and you save intercepts in your hand, so your opponent couldn't retire them. So I was a little bit of a fan of Die Earth as well. How many times did I actually do him? A couple times. Actually played him a couple times, actually. It was really fun. And 2 more that are different cards. This card's actually cool. Super Cosmic Hero X Falcon. You know what it does? You counterblast 2, choose a card from your hand and discard it. When this unit attacks, it hits a Vanguard. If this unit attack was 45,000 or greater, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and put it face down into your opponent's damage zone. So this legit pinged your opponent, which was amazing. But you had to hit 45,000 power to do it. It could be a great end game if they don't have PGs and you push into 5 and you do this, you ping them with a freaking unit, and then it was GG's. This card's actually amazing, but I've only pulled this off maybe once in my entire TCG career. Yeah, that's about it. I only pulled this off once. It's very tricky. 4,500 is very tricky. Okay? Don't at me. And last but not least, Dark Superhuman Omega. And what he did was Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 1. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your rear guards and put it into your soul. Choose all of your opponent's units in the opponent's front row and reduce them. And reduce those units' original attack by the original attack of a card put into your soul with this effect until the end of the turn. So obviously Zeal has some of his own darkness units that can benefit. And, you know, it's really nice to see where that can go. So, yeah, so that's pretty much my TCG deck. I mean, if you guys are wondering if I did play G, I did. I have a deck, and I played it. And I got some really good matches, but I only ever make top 8 and never did anything after that, sadly. Sorry to move on. So I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm going to do a little shuffle here. Just going to power shuffle real quick, and then I'm going to show you what I actually draw in real life. I'm going to show you actual RNG when I play an actual card game. You're going to see it. You're honestly going to see this. And you're like, wow, no wonder Zero hates you. And then you're like, yeah, right? I'm telling you. Shuffling. I'm really just tossing cards on the ground. You're not even seeing this. You're not even seeing this. So, gather my cards. Obviously, if there was a better table, this would be a lot easier to power shuffle. But, you know, I'm using the end of my couch to make it a thing. So I'm gonna put these all together. I mean, listen, I power shuffle. Power shuffling is when you put, you know, you make 4 rows and then you stack one card on top of each other. That way you actually pull off. So obviously you don't try to draw triggers and all that. So I'm gonna draw like a hand here. So yeah, see this hand? This is my starting hand. You see this? Die Bazooka. I mean, I drew my Legion. I drew, a G0 intercept. Well, Guardian, which is going to guard. And I have Die Hard in case I ever needed it. And I don't even think I would actually ride my G1. So, if I was going first, draw 1. Got another G2. So, ride, take 1 damage. The damage check was a G2. Then it would be my turn. And then I top deck a PG, so then again, drive check 1, I get another PG to my hand. So my dry checking would have been pretty godly because I just dry checked 2 PGs, and that's not proving the point why my RNG is trash. Because I just legit would have gotten 2 PGs if he only attacked once, and I guarded and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, you need like real life scenarios when it comes to playing with a deck. I just like to imagine what would happen in a match if he only attacked once, and then somehow I just drew 2 PGs. Like, really? Anyways. That's all I have for you today, guys. Because I'm kind of waiting on another video for you guys, and which is the Legion content. I just thought I'd show you my actual TCG deck. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the video. Y'all be good. Y'all stay safe, and I'll see y'all another time. All right? Peace.